Hi, welcome to JD Sports. I'm Jared Hood. That's the way. You can find our personal Twitters at the show's Twitter page, which is @_JD Sports. If you look us up on YouTube, JD Sports Show, JD Sports, you'll find us. JD Sports as well on SoundCloud if you're doing it the other way. Dwight, we should have came in like dancing, moving, grooving, because I forgot something last week. I was talking about all the stuff that we would come into, whether it be our favorite rap artist, up and down, right? About what we would come into on our first show. The reason I did not mention the King of Pop, Michael, your favorite, is because the second show would be nothing but Michael in and out. Like every in and out would be Michael. I'm sure we would have a Jay-Z day because he's my favorite. I'm sure we would even, have some, I don't know.
Another Michael day.
Plenty of Michael days. We might have a Michael Friday every Friday. If we're a weekly show, I think every Friday we would have to dedicate Michael Friday or something like that. We got this.
I got plenty of material.
I know that. So, and I didn't mean to leave the King of Pop out because I mentioned not all of, but I mentioned a lot of our favorite rappers.
It's funny because I thought about that after I watched it back. I said, this guy didn't say, and I didn't say.
So that's my apologies, and I know but you're the producer, so the in and outs on the entire second show would without question be Michael in and outs. But
it would have to be. There's only one. Just saying, it wouldn't be Drake. Wouldn't be anything about God's plan or
I think eventually I would get you to find, I would play you a Drake song that you'd be like, you know what? All right.
I don't hate Drake. I just think he's overrated. I just don't get it. Like,
okay.
He's alright.
Back early Drake, like early Drake.
That's great about him.
I'm not hip on music the way I was back in 2007 to 2012, 13, however long it was. Anyways, Drake was back in my late high school to right after high school days. Drake was the up and coming guy. He was the guy who I really thought was going to be as good as Lil Wayne, as Jay-Z, as he has some time. He has some songs that it's like, man, he really is on their level talent-wise, but he just doesn't always go that direction because, and you could call it sellout, you can call it whatever you want, but his popular music right now is just not the way of what I would listen to with Jay-Z. Like, I listen to Jay-Z, obviously, 444 way differently than I listen to any Drake album right now because Drake's not trying to appeal to the same kind of people. I do feel like there is a couple of songs that I can pull out of Drake's catalog that his bars are on the same level as some of my favorite and greatest rappers, but it's not consistent enough because he's not trying to appeal to the same people.
I don't care what the reason is. I mean, like I said, he's not terrible, but he ain't what people think he's. They literally put him in that conversation with those other people. I'm just like, no,
see, I don't think he's in the conversation with Eminem and Jay-Z and Biggie and Tupac and whoever you want to put in when you're talking.
Maybe Modern not. No, not even. No, it's because there's nothing else.
No,
it's him and Mumble.
Still go Wayne.
It's him and. Let's not even go there, but anyway, Wayne ain't shit no more.
I don't know.
It's him and mumble rappers now, so of course Drake is like up there.
Some of Wayne's latest stuff has been really good.
Like
Glory, I'll play it for you.
I'm sure I'm good because I haven't liked anything Wayne in
4
or 5 years.
Same, man. We were on.
And
the
even
same,
then, it was like we're pushing it.
We were on the same plane, but this song turned me back around. I've listened a little more of current Wayne, and it's not back to what it was, but it's getting there.
I feel like he's probably one of those people that still thinks they're famous and doesn't realize he ain't famous no more.
He's progressing. I mean, Lil Wayne's still big among the hip hop community, among the current rappers. This mumble rap happened fully because of Lil Wayne. I mean, there's no question. They are all really big Lil Wayne fans. He's the greatest rapper to them. He is the greatest rapper to them. To most of these mumble rappers, he is their favorite rapper without question.
I'm good. I'm good on them. I'm good on these R&B singers that act like they rap like Drake. I can't deal with these on the fence people. Like, either be who you are or don't be that person. Like, stop this on the fence shit. Stop this. I'm gonna sing ballads, but I'm gonna rap. Like, so, what? Stop this. I'm a mumble rapper, but I'm not.
Concert with my friend.
Off. Like, pick a side. Like,
2 summers ago? I saw Drake in concert with my friend 2 summers ago, and he was really good. I enjoyed it.
Like I said, he's alright.
I went to DC. It was a good time. We had a really good time.
I never got the hype. I thought the first album was cool. He's got, like you said, he's got a couple songs that's cool, but people losing their mind over this God's plan shit, and I'm just like, it's not that great. It's there.
It's already overplayed.
Hello. That's because, we're now 2018. The music scene is dry out here, apparently.
It is already overplayed.
It is dry as hell.
That song, for sure.
It's either, that's all you hear. you hear him and Bruno, which Bruno's cool. I can do. I'd rather listen to Bruno all day.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, somebody you don't like, Future.
They don't play those people. Those people don't get play.
And DJ Khaled all just came out with a song together last week, and I like Ho's part.
I was into you said Khaled. I'm good.
I like Ho's part.
He's about 6 years too late. I'm done.
I mean, he's signed to Rock Nation. That's why Jay-Z's been on a couple of his stuff lately. I like Jay-Z's part, and I like Beyonce's part. I mean,
of course you do. You have to.
Right. I get what
by default. So.
Right. I get what the song is
geared
geared towards.
So you don't mess with Khaled?
Khaled, I've always been back and forth on. Khaled makes hits, but I wish he didn't yell throughout the entire thing because he doesn't add to the song. Like his beats, I have nothing.
Once I finally realized that's who he was, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
His beats are up and down. They are some of the best in hip hop, up and down. If you really listen to what he's doing on a track, but and like even like the Wild Thoughts song, like what he did with the Santana song, but
is
that
the one?
If you listen, no, that's not the new Jay-Z song.
The Santana one pissed me off.
But if you listen to like things he added into the Santana, it pisses you off because it's overplayed. But if you listen,
it pissed me off because every time I heard, I was like, I want to hear Santana. Oh wait, that's not Santana.
But the actual production of it was good. I thought it was good. If you listen to the production of it, he has a lot of good stuff though. If you listen, especially his older stuff, I mean, everybody knows "Everybody Hand Go Up." And they say that that's a Khaled song, but like, and you can even
overplayed.
Right,
really
it
bad,
did get overplayed.
Really bad.
But I'm trying to speak on that era of Khaled.
Yeah.
That is some of the best DJ work by like he changed the game with the way DJs go without question at that time. But
he was Fat Man Scoop, the modernized version.
You know how skinny he was like 10 years ago.
Oh, Khaled?
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw a picture of him about 10, maybe 15 years ago, and dude was. I mean, a third of his size. It's crazy.
Same dude put money into his cheeseburgers?
Yeah, he looks nothing like he does right now.
I always thought he was just big. I had no idea.
My man can still dance, though. Have you seen him dance?
I didn't know he was a dancer.
He can still get down like Bruno get down. It's weird to see because he's so big. But, like, yeah, no, I'm talking, like, look up a video of Kyle dancing. This dude can move, I'm telling you.
Bruno?
Yeah, he's a step behind Bruno. I'm not saying he's Bruno, but he's only one step behind him. He's not far. He can dance, man. I was like you. I was like, nah, and Kyle can't dance. I clicked on the first ever video, and I was like, woo. Now I see videos all the time of Kyle dance. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. I see him. Anyways,
I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. But sure.
We should stay in our lane, or
we don't do that.
Shut up and dribble.
We don't do that. We talk about what the hell we want to talk about because there ain't no sports to talk about. Just saying.
Have a couple things.
The most conversation you got was that conversation we just had. He's so.
I don't know. I think
he's so full of it.
I think some.
He's so full of it. By the way, we are in a stay in our lane, so you should just.
I think we have some soup to drink.
You should just cut. I don't know. No, we want to talk about music. We want to talk about music. I want to talk about video games. We want to talk about video games. We want to talk about what the hell we want to talk about on this damn show. It ain't just about sports.
Hey, was that
There's better things than just dumbass
Was
sports.
that Zombie Hunter game the game that you rented that one day and didn't like? Okay, so two dudes at
Monster
work.
Hunter?
Monster Hunter, is that what it is? So two dudes at work were talking about it and they really liked it, and I was like, I didn't know anything about it. But the first thing I said was, my boy Dwight rented it for a day and didn't like it.
Gave it 4 hours.
Yeah, I was like, my man didn't like it. So I said to them, I was like, so I'm gonna be honest with you, most likely I wouldn't like it either. And they laughed. Well, I mean, they both understand that outside of sports games, it's very hard to get me to. I will watch my friends play like Call of Duty and other really good shooter games. You know, Assassin's Creed back in the day.
Yeah,
I watched. And I've absolutely, even though I was never good at them, 007 was the only thing. The James Bond 007, the GoldenEye was the only thing I was ever good at. It was on N64. With a shooting game.
20 years at this point. 22 years.
I was good at that game, though. I don't know, but I was good at that game. But that was it.
Yeah.
Every other game that I played, I was not. Every other shooting game I ever played, I was never good at. I was the guy that when we all played online and we were playing against the other team, I stayed in the back and just tried to get the kills or help people get up and just tried not to die.
Just a bum.
I'm never good at shooting games, but I always admitted it. But when we would play on the playground, like, you know, if it was like 3-on-3 or whatever, and I had my player guy, I was the go-to. I'm a sports guy.
That's all he knows.
And music, because we talk a lot of music. But you're right.
No, I thought Monster Hunter was garbage.
That's why I'm wearing a shirt for the second week in a row about this, and I talk about the championship.
Okay, first of all, Monster Hunter I thought was garbage, but that's just me. I think it's a niche game. I think either you gonna love it or you gonna hate it. There ain't no in between. And
Yeah,
I established very quickly I hate it. Tony played it too.
Yeah.
Well, he was an idiot. Shout out to this idiot, the tattoo guy. He bought the damn thing.
Are we gonna have him on the show?
He bought at some point. He bought the damn thing.
Because he's a great GM for the Titans. I mean, he's made 2 good decisions so far. You know, got them to fire their coach.
He's made 2 great decisions. His tattoo, his other tattoo with the Wu-Tang, and he bought what's that, Monster Hunter. He bought that, and he hates himself for doing it. And I was like, why didn't you rent it? I could have told you that.
Because the Wu-Tang.
Because I was like, I don't like it. I was like, I don't like it. You ain't gonna like it. He ain't gonna like it, but he bought it. He tried taking it back to GameStop. They said, yeah, here's $30. And
full disclosure on the whole video game conversation, I own an Xbox 360, so...
Just saying.
You could take what he says super serious, because he is extremely good at the whole video game thing and has a lot of them, but me...
No, the Monster Hunter, like, I knew. Like, I was either... And that's why I rented it, because I was like, I'm either going to really love it or I'm going to hate it. And I gave it 4 hours, which was plenty of time, and I was like, I'm not about this. It's just not for me. But I can see, if you're into that type of shit... I can see it being great. When the fuck are you going to change your shirt? Like, this is so, like...
This is the on-the-field shirt. I have 2 more. I wore my crew neck last week. I have a hoodie, and then I have another shirt that says Super Bowl champions, and it has the whole entire team on the back. But I wanted to wear this week, because this is the on-the-field shirt. This is what they were handed when they actually won the game. It's probably my favorite. The crew neck's my favorite because it looks the coolest. Yeah.
Oh, my... Why? How many more damn...
I would like to get a couple more after that, but we'll see. I don't have the money at the moment. We'll get there.
It's over. Nobody cares. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, whatever they want.
I'd like to collect as much as I can between.
Well, you should, but who the hell is what? Like,
I'm still gonna wear it. I mean, people don't have to like it if you want. I have a really cool hoodie that I'll probably wear next week. It's with the trophy and has confetti coming down. And
you can just wait till the season starts. Why you keep wearing it? Like, it's irrelevant.
Well, I'm gonna wear it all year round.
It's like March Madness time. It's WrestleMania time. It's get a lifetime. Like, what is this Super Bowl shit? Like, the Super Bowl's over.
That's why I got T-shirts so I can wear it in the summer.
Super Bowl's so over though. Which, by the way, I saw your little post saying, saying trophy case is empty or some shit. It's sold 2017. I was like, actually, it was sold like a month ago, but whatever. I'll let you live.
It was so January, Dwight.
4 weeks ago.
Do you like the trophy case? Do you think they should have set it up differently?
Did they rent that? Did they just get that? Because they haven't had that.
No, it's theirs now.
It's theirs now. Okay. Yeah. It was on layaway for the past 40 years, and they finally paid it off.
I guess.
Good for them.
I don't know about paying it off. We probably paid it off a while ago. Just been waiting to use it.
Good for them.
Now we have reasons to use it.
You get one, and all of a sudden you're great.
So, Dwight, I'm still super excited about the Super Bowl, and I'm going to probably be excited about the Super Bowl until most likely kickoff of next year.
There's no reason. It's over. It's whatever. You won. Correct. Move on. Eventually, when the Lakers win championships, you know what I did? Eventually, I'll just say, yeah, we won. Move on.
I think it'd be cool if you were wearing like a 2000 Lakers championship shirt right now, to be honest with you.
I don't own one. I own the Kobe championship jersey, but...
Yeah?
What, the patch, the fake one?
I own one Phillies 08 shirt. I wish I would have owned more.
You don't wear that all the time.
I don't. I actually wear it in the summer, though. I wear it to Phillies events, and
when it's relevant.
Yeah, and that's what I will do with these, too. I'm not going to wear these, for 7 straight years on the show to White. Maybe 7 years from now I'll wear it.
Feels like it.
Well, maybe I will, because I'm very excited about it. Anyways.
I'm in my first championship.
I don't. No, 2008 was the first championship for the Eagles. Or for the Phillies. And
so you probably remember pretty
Eagles
well.
in 2018.
You
yeah, I was 17 when the Phillies won. 27 when the Eagles won.
Cool, so I got another 10 years before I have to deal with this nonsense. Trust the process, huh? Just saying. Embiid's gonna be like 40 years old. That's what's up. Guess the process finally worked, huh?
That's because...
Which, by the way...
LeBron gonna be winning championships in L.A.
Which, by the way, I haven't brought this up, but we're gonna bring it up. Because we're talking about this dumb trust the process shit. Why the hell all of a sudden is it now just one guy because he quote unquote embraced it? But no, he's not. Because now
him and Ben Simmons are definitely the two dudes.
Because he's the success story, though. Now, every time everybody says trust the process, they automatically go to Embiid. Like, no, it's the whole situation. And the whole situation didn't work. You got 1.5. You got Embiid, and Simmons may be the second. But other than that, the whole process has not been a success. Just saying.
Well, the process isn't over. We started the show.
When is it over? When y'all win?
Well, hold on. When did we start the show?
Oh, my God. We're going to make this a 6-year thing. 3 years ago.
And what did I say then?
Oh, knock it off.
They were 2 years away from being 2 years away. So that would be they are what? Next year would be not next year, the year after. They would be basically a year away right now, is what I said. That's when the process. But you wanted a timeline. I'm giving you a timeline. I don't know what else to tell you then, man. You want a timeline. There's your timeline. I said 2 years away.
Something that you made up. Something that you made up.
But have I not? Have I not stuck to that?
That's what you said.
But have I not stuck to that?
I said. Did I not just say correct? I said correct.
Okay. But, so if they are not winning are you talking championship?
You're not the only person that says it's trusted process. My point.
I said competing for championships. I said 2 years away from being 2 years away for competing for championships. So that is literally, I want them to be a top 3 East team. I want them to be at least Eastern Conference Finals 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I'm looking at
2020.
Yeah, anywhere between 2020 and 2023, they need to be working.
Well, I wish I had that kind of range, man. I hope the Lakers. You know what? I trust what Magic Johnson's doing.
The Lakers can do it within 2 years, though, if they land some big fish.
But give Magic an extra 3. Whew. Man, I wish I had that kind of leverage at a job.
But if they get one guy here next year or the year after, then yeah, that's a 5-10 year run.
Man, that leverage.
And then he will be competing within 2 years to 3 years for a championship. Do you think next year that they'll be competing for a championship, even if they get Paul George?
The Lakers?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so what is your time frame? As a fan, realistically, what are you giving the Lakers on a time frame? That is my time frame.
I said Magic has this year to get somebody, and he also
needs
to get 2.
To be competing for championships. What year are you looking for?
I don't know. I'm not.
And that's why I said 2 years. But that's what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to put. I put a stamp on it 3 years ago about when I was looking for them to be competitive.
You gave him a 5-year window. That's great.
Because I was realistic. I understood when they said process that it was an actual real process. That Embiid is playing out of his mind. Look, outside of Shaquille O'Neal and I think it was Kareem, nobody has ever had the numbers in their first 82 games that Embiid has had. But that doesn't mean anything because he has to play the rest of his career. And it does not mean he will be as good as either of them. Simmons is clearly going to be the Rookie of the Year, but I don't know what they're going to do with Fultz. I don't know if he's going to come back, if his shot's okay. I mean, look, what I've seen in practice is his shot's back to the way it was in college, but does that mean when they start games, will he go back to his old, what happens? I don't know. So that might be a wasted pick. I have no clue. But Dario's been pretty good.
Stop it.
Dario's been,
that's the process that you're addressing. Stop it. Next.
I think
he's not going to be a difference maker to make y'all win a championship.
I think he's going to I think he's going to be part of the teams on the championship run.
Okay, next.
You need Robert Horry, right? I mean, you need a Meta World piece, yeah. You absolutely do.
Okay,
you absolutely need role players. You need Steve Kerrs. You need players.
You putting words in my mouth. I just don't think he's that person. He's good, but
I think he's going to absolutely be a player that would. I think he's a third or fourth player on a championship team. He has his numbers have been.
Okay, can we get back to my original point?
He was second Rookie of the Year just last year.
Nobody cares.
His numbers are better this year.
Nobody cares. My original point. Why, not just you, when people say, oh, trust the process, they automatically say it's one person. Well,
because my point is, the process.
My point, and that's ridiculous because it's not just him.
I mean, I don't know why them people do that, but you know how I feel. When I think of the Sixers, I think of the whole thing. And what I honestly think of, when you say the process, what I honestly think of is the head coach. I think of Brett Brown because he was the start of, he was
the first idiot.
He's the only one outside of Hinsky that was in the beginning of this, and Sam Hinsky's obviously not there. I think of Brett Brown when I think of trust the process. And then, you have to obviously throw Embiid in there right afterwards because Embiid was one of the early picks, and he embraced it.
He's the only success.
But, no, I think Simmons is a success, and I think Dario's a success. I think Ilya's a success. T.J. McConnell would not be playing in the NBA if the Sixers weren't trying to tank 3 years ago. But T.J. McConnell is now a point guard that he would go play somewhere else, much like Dellavedova. Not saying he's a super impactful player, but he's.
Everybody's a success when they have. Okay, I got you. Got it. Everybody's a star in Philadelphia. They're all great. All of them.
Did you laugh at the LeBron?
All of them's great.
When the Sixers, or not the Sixers, some company from Philadelphia put up a Trust the Process billboard in Cleveland for LeBron. I thought that was funny.
I didn't see that because I didn't care then.
I don't think he's going to go to Philadelphia or anything like that. But that was like everyone's.
He's not going to LA. He's not going.
How long have I been joking about that though? How long have I been like just poking fun at that? That bring him to Philly, he'd be perfect in Philly because it would look good, but it's not obviously. I think he's going to go to LA.
Fake news.
And I didn't think that until maybe the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. I really just think he's going to go to LA.
Nope. Don't see it happening.
We'll find out in the off season. We have a long season between now and then. We have more basketball to get into, but I want to talk football real quick.
Let's talk about we got a long season until then. We got a long off season until football. What?
Some quarterback things going on. I want to get my opinions out on the 5 quarterbacks that everyone's talking about in the NFL draft.
When's the fucking draft?
Next month.
I thought it was April.
Yeah, April. We're in
Next
March.
month is April. Oh.
All the pro days are literally,
Next
I
month,
think, April 17th. March 17th or March 18th is the last day for the pro days, and then the draft, I'm pretty sure, is the first, second week of April. So,
Whatever.
couple things happened at the combine that I don't think are super surprising that it is annoying me that people are talking about is like some crazy surprising thing. First one is Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. I said it on this show a while ago. I think he's the best athlete in this draft. Dwight cares that much. I think he's the best athlete in this draft. I said that.
Because when we get to a point, when we say this all the time, and I'm going to let you have your little moment and get to your point. When we say this all the time, this means absolutely nothing. It's what you do on the field in a game. And more often than not, these people look like clowns who think too hard about this draft, this combine shit, and they look foolish. So this is why even
some of the best players ever.
Why even pay attention to whatever's happening?
Some of the best players ever had bad spark scores, which is the overall score from the combine, like from your physical. Not that's not anything to do with paper or interviews. That's just your physical spark scores. And we're talking Hall of Famers. There's a couple Hall of Famers who have had some really bad spark scores.
Judge me on my game. Don't judge me on some nonsense.
Okay,
That's like me taking an SAT or the PSSAs and me failing, I'm bombing it when I'm really an intelligent person. But maybe I'm just not good in this situation, and
not just
that doesn't mean that I'm not good.
Right. We agree. And I think that we've had the conversation enough on here for the people to understand that. I call them the underwear Olympics because I legitimately don't think that these things meet. And I don't think that the combine is... You should not be drafting somebody because of something you saw in the combine. It needs to be what you saw, not just on tape once, or it needs to be what you saw on tape from day one of that athlete, or at least what you saw that athlete transition to from day one to the time that you're drafting them, and what you think you can help them grow.
I mean, that's a good point, too, that you bring up that it needs to be more than just one game even, because people judge, did you see what they did or didn't do in one bowl game?
Mark Sanchez.
A meaningless bowl game.
Mark Sanchez is the most perfect example of he was a projected 3rd round pick before the bowl season, and then he had a crazy bowl game against Penn State, who... Look, Penn State had a good season that year, but their secondary was not all that good. They gave up, I think, like 400, 500 yards multiple times that year through the air. And then Mark Sanchez here, who torched, I'm pretty sure, Notre Dame and UCLA back-to-back for over 300 yards back-to-back. So, people kind of had an eye on him. He put up another, I think, 300 or 400 yards in the Rose Bowl and 3 or 4 touchdowns, and he shot up to be a first-round pick. He ended up going to the Jets. He should have never have been the pick that he was. And that's not just hindsight. That was people at the time were thinking that, but they also understood that what he did in one game was enough, and for the Jets to think that they wanted him. Now Rex Ryan openly says that he did not agree with that, nor did he want him. But
He's a genius too.
No, but that's a whole different conversation for a different day. Now, they went to AFC Championships. They went to 2 AFC Championships together and a third, divisional round.
So did Tim Tebow.
He didn't go to the AFC Championship, but he did win a playoff game. But the spark score for Saquon Barkley is it's historical. I mean, it's up there in some of the biggest numbers, and people, because of it, are saying he's the best talent in the draft. Now, I've been saying that before these spark scores because of what I saw on the field. Part 2 of this, I'm a running back guy. Like I'm not a running back guy in the first round. I meant to say. Like I'm not. I don't.
That's ridiculous.
Unless you can get a guy like Zeke or Fournette that is going to be able to take 50 hits in a game, Saquon's just he's going to be elusive and he's going to be quick and I think he's going to be game changing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't take him top 10. Is he worth the number 1 overall pick? I don't know if
you said first round. You don't go from the first round to the number 1.
I've never been a first round running back guy, but I do understand that people.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I just think that running
Over
backs...
years, even? You don't even have to just talk recent history.
Yeah, I think recent history is actually probably more the most I would have ever entertained it, and I still personally would cross over into it yet, only because I think there's such a deep talent, not just coming out of the collegiate ranks, but in the free agency pool and left and right. I mean, there's just a lot of running backs, and the running back shelf life is just not as long, and that's why you have such the amount of running backs. And I don't think the talent outside of a Zeke or a Fournette or a Gurley, I mean, you're literally talking about 10 guys, and the rest of the group is... Look at what the Eagles did. Nothing against Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount, who I think is really good, but neither of them are as good as any of those running backs that I just named. I mean, neither of them are, and that's just... And the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So that's how I look at it. The value of it. Look at the Patriots over the years. Again, I don't... Offensive line, quarterback, good secondary.
Take whatever the best talent is available.
Okay. And my argument back and forth my entire life on the draft is, and here's where I find myself in a weird position in the last couple years, and this would be the most weirdest. I am a take the best player available, not take your position need, right? Like, because when you're talking in the draft, everyone says you got to do one thing. You either got to take what you think you need at position-wise, so you got to take the best player at that position, or you got to take the best player that you feel is available on the board. Right now, if you lined them up with all the players available on the board, and I was the Cleveland Browns, my number 1 player on the board would be Barkley. So I would have a running back number 1 overall. Do I pick him? I mean, again, that would go against what I usually say about the running back thing. Here's also the thing is I don't know the Browns
so why are you arguing with yourself?
Because here's where I was going to go with this biggest part of it, because everyone's saying if the Browns don't take him, the Giants will. Do either team have an offensive line? The Giants don't. I don't know if the Browns do. But, okay, here's...
The offensive line doesn't put fans in the seats. A star does.
Agreed.
You take the star.
Offensive line doesn't protect your star, though. Your star gets hurt.
You need like 4 other people before you can worry about a running back. Like, if you could just get a good running back...
I'm not saying they just need to go out of their way and draft an offensive line. I'm saying, can you make your offensive line good enough? Not maybe just maybe you have to explain to your running back, 1, hey, look, we're going to play you half the snaps we're going to usually play you because we need to get on a better offensive line. We don't want to take hits. And 2, this is a process situation where we're going to maybe in a year or 2, we're going to have to patchwork this year and next year, and by the end of next year, we're going to have a solid offensive line kid and blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you draft a running back.
Okay, so I'm again.
So you just have this argument with yourself for no reason.
But if I was a GM, this is why I would have Dwight in the room, because we would be bouncing these things back and forth, and I don't know if I don't know if it's the right thing to do for the Browns.
You are the Cleveland Browns. You ain't got no right to be worrying about no damn offensive lineman.
Okay, but let's just say you have...
get a damn talent right first.
Pick a random
Get a talent right first. Pick a talent.
Agree, but I'm saying just pick a random team out of the hat. Not the Cowboys, not the Eagles, not the Browns. Just pick a random team out of the hat. Cardinals. Say you're the Cardinals.
Yeah. They don't got a running back. They ain't got a quarterback. Take them. Why not?
You take the running back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? If you don't trust that quarterback and you trust that running back, why don't you take the running back? You can get a quarterback next year. What's the problem with that?
All right. Again, the last couple years, if anything, if I was ever going to cross over from the first, the no running back thing in the first round,
This is why the Browns the Browns. This is why the Browns be in a situation at the end. They take the hype train on a quarterback instead of going with.
I'm not saying they should take a quarterback as well because I don't think any of the quarterbacks are worthy of the number 1 overall pick. I think it's kind of blasphemous to think that any of these quarterbacks are worth the top 10 pick.
So what are you drafting top 10? If you don't want running back or quarterback, what do you want in the top 10? There's 10 players. All linemen?
No. You have linemen, you have defensive ends, you have linebackers. There's
that's a
2 really good safeties.
NFL
There's 2
draft.
good corners. But just because you're talking about position doesn't make it a weak draft. You just have exceptional players. There is 7 legit great offensive linemen, I think, in this draft. Like 7 legit. I don't know. The last couple of years, the offensive linemen have been getting it. I mean, we've had 5 or 6 per draft every year just be disgustingly good right out the gate, and I think that we're going to have multiple. I think we're going to get close to that number again. The rookie year of really good offensive linemen. I think overall, like I said, I think we can have 7 really good overall offensive linemen within the next 5 years coming from this draft. But point being is there's plenty of things out there now. Teams are going to reach. We know that. I'm not saying you're reaching if you go Barkley. Barkley, number 1 overall. If the Browns do that, I'm not going to blame them. He's the best talent by far in this draft. But teams are going to reach for these quarterbacks. Josh Allen is probably the most likely first one. Him or Darnold. I think Darnold has the highest ceiling long term. He's the one out of USC. I think he has the highest ceiling long term. Josh Allen, I think, has the best skill set overall. I think if you're talking right now to 5-10 years from now, he's going to be just as consistent either way. And I do think that Rosen has room to improve, but a lot of people don't like Rosen. I think Rosen has the most win ready. He reads defenses the best, and he throws the ball to like the actual shoulder. He's not just throwing to a wide open guy. He's throwing it to the right, to the back shoulder, to the front shoulder. He's throwing guys open type thing. So if you're talking the big 3 quarterbacks that everyone's saying, then I would probably go Rosen, but Allen is the one. Allen and Darnold are the 2 leading ones to everybody. I would say Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. We've talked about that before because I've seen the most wins out of them. I've seen the most tape out of them. The reason I'm going to bring them up again is because Lamar Jackson was asked by apparently at least 2 teams would he change to be a wide receiver instead of a quarterback. Now, I don't know if they were asking him that just because they wanted to see if he's got that kind of fire for the position or what his reaction was. But no, he should not change from a quarterback to a wide receiver. I know this happens a lot. I know people change positions a lot. This guy he's not Cam Newton or Mike Vick, but he's as close as you can get. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. He's as quick as Mike Vick is. He's a little taller. And he can throw. I think it's kind of crazy that people don't think he can throw. He improved vastly from his sophomore year to his junior year and his senior year of throwing to, it was open, a lot more open receivers than anything. So it's going to be, can he throw it accurately? But I think he has the most Deshaun Watson upside to him, where Deshaun Watson came in and took everything by storm, because you have that dual threat as a defense. It's harder to prepare for Cam Newton, Mike Vick, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson than it is for even maybe Tom Brady, even though Tom Brady's better at picking you apart at what he does than most quarterbacks. It doesn't mean it's not harder to prepare, or you have to at least play a different kind of defense against them. So I think it's ridiculous that people want Lamar Jackson to change position. I think that if I was a team that needed a quarterback, I would, without question, feel comfortable waiting until late first round or middle second round, because you can get one of those 2, and I think those 2 are going to be just fine in the NFL, especially compared to the other ones. Now, last thing I want to talk about with the Combine.
Thank God.
Did you hear the story of Shaquem Griffin?
What's this man's name?
Shaquem.
Shaquem. Shaniqua?
Here's a brother named Shaquan.
Shanae?
His brother plays for...
What's his name?
Shaquem Griffin. Shaquan Griffin plays for...
Shaquem.
Yeah, Shaquem with an M. He plays...
What country is he from?
America.
He's just American boy?
I don't know.
His parents are from?
I don't know. I can't tell you that. His brother plays in the NFL. He played college at University of
I'm gonna let him slide if his parents are
Central Florida.
If they're from like Africa or something. I'm gonna let that live.
His brother plays for Seattle. He's
gonna come back to that one day.
His brother's a cornerback in Seattle.
Shaquem. What about Shaquem? Sharif Abdul Rahim.
Have you seen his story? He played on the undefeated, self-proclaimed, not actual,
African Rhinos.
National champions.
African Rhinos?
No, the University of Central Florida, okay?
So he's Cuban.
No, the special story about this man, he was born
Yeah, I
with
ran
one,
a tiger once.
he was born with one hand.
You can try to make me sound like a dick, but it ain't gonna work.
No, I'm not trying to make you sound like a dick. I'm trying to explain to you. So,
okay.
nope, the reason I bring it up is because his numbers.
Mm-hmm. Shaquem.
He's the fastest linebacker in this combine
So, what's that got to do with his hand?
by far.
Has nothing to do with his hands.
He led his team in tackles. He caught every ball that was thrown towards him in the combine.
That's more impressive than you telling me he's
He put
fast.
up.
Like,
He put up.
lazy,
I
got
think it
nothing to do
was
with his hand.
37 reps with a prosthetic arm, and his other arm. So, like he did really impressive things, and
Cool. Does he get drafted?
he absolutely
Does he play for a team? Does he start anywhere?
I think he should. I think he will have a substantial career, like a 5 to 10 year career in the NFL. Does he? Is he an all-star and all-pro? I don't know.
Correct answer is no.
Do I think that he's going? Look. Here's the biggest thing. Let me get
I'm
that.
not asking if he's gonna be a superstar. I'm saying, like, does he play? Like, is
Yes,
he a
I think he's gonna
does
play.
He play regularly.
Yes, I think he's going to play, and I think he's going to play.
What position is he?
He's going to play linebacker, and I think you're going to have to play him on the outside linebacker, not middle line. He played both, and you could put his good hand in the dirt, and you can, or you could keep him back as a linebacker. And if he ever rushes the passer, as long as he can get one hand on the offensive line to push the offensive line.
That's JPP. He got it.
So here. Yes.
Just saying.
Here's the only downfall I see is in college he was able to wrap people. He's always relied on technique. He was a very good tackler in college. It's going to be harder to play that way in the NFL. I think he's going to miss more tackles in the NFL than he did in college, just based off of these guys are more elusive.
Mm-hmm.
The skill level is obviously a little higher, but he is. And when I say he's the quickest linebacker in this combine, he's the quickest linebacker in the last 15 or 10 combines. Like has amazing speed. That's why he will, without question, because in the NFL, speed is everything. Speed kills. That's why I think he will absolutely get drafted. Now, if he had two hands, I think he'd be a day one, first round pick, no question. What I do think is going to happen here is I think he's going to drop to the second or third round, or even a little later.
Probably third or fourth.
I think it will be an absolute shame if he drops below the third round. And I'm pretty sure it was Sherman, if I'm not mistaken, that tweeted out if he gets drafted after the third round, then the system's broken because of how good he did in college. He led his team in tackles last year, and how good he did at the combine. And the point of the system is broken. I might not disagree because you tell this kid to go through 4 years of college, to put everything he does on tape, which for people like me, who I only really want to look at tape, he did. He put everything you needed on tape for me to say he's a top 3-round pick. In the combine, for the people who want to see you in shorts and a t-shirt running around and lifting weights and doing that kind of stuff, he excelled in those things too. So I agree that the system might not be working for everybody if he does not get picked at least in the second or third round, where I think that he should absolutely get picked in the second or third round. I think that is the exact round where I would take him, and I think you would be lucky to get him in the third round, honestly, but he doesn't have two hands, and that's just, I mean, there's no way around it. He doesn't run from it. I mean, obviously, he talks about it in every interview. He talks about it every day. It's something he lives with, and it's something that obviously is being more amplified right now more than ever. People like you and I who have never talked about it before are now sitting here talking about it. So obviously, it's, but I think that the system would absolutely be broken if that was the case. I don't know.
All right, you said it a second time. I laughed the first time I let it slide, but you said it a second
time. Because I wanted to see your reaction.
It's not the system that's broken, it's his hands broken.
That's
that was a joke.
Right.
See, you fucked up. I was letting it go. That's why I was giggling, but not saying anything. Then he said, Just saying. That's why he wouldn't get drafted. It's not because of the system. It's because of his hand. Am I wrong now?
No.
Right. So it's not being a dick. It's just accurate.
So I have some more football news before we move on.
What? God damn it! All right.
Franchise tags everywhere. Jarvis Landry.
Yeah. I'm awesome.
The next one I got for you, I have this. This has more to do with what he said about it than the actual tag going on him. Le'Veon Bell, before the Jaguars playoff game, was tweeting the night before it, or maybe it was 2 days before it, I forget, but sometime, Friday or Saturday before the playoff game, about how he will not play on the franchise tag next year. He'll retire before he ever does that. He wants to set a new path for guys like Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Gurley and Leonard Fournette, and he's going to sign the biggest contract in running back history, and he's going to get paid $14 to $15 million a year, and the Steelers are going to do it, and blah, 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 blah. They franchise tagged him. He tweeted out he's lucky to be a Steeler, and it sounds like he's going to sign the franchise tender without a fight. My question to you is, because we all know that was smoke, and we knew that we know at the time it was just him trying to get the Steelers' attention a couple nights before a playoff game. Hey, by the way, I'm not playing next year on the franchise tag, so don't franchise tag me. Does he look dumb?
No.
I mean, he's gonna make $14 million next year because of this franchise tag. So it doesn't.
That's
So
that's
I will.
exactly what you just said.
I will disclaimer all of this.
I
I will disclaimer all of this in the sense of it doesn't.
Folded,
it doesn't matter if he looks dumb or not. He folded into $14 million. It's not really a bad fold.
The correct question is, did he punk out? Yeah, sure he punked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he punked out.
And that's how I'm looking at
That
this.
is a
Like,
punk move. He punked out. If he talking all that shit, regardless.
and he talked about it again the next day in the locker room a little bit, and he was open about it, and it was a fairly big story. Not saying that was the distraction, because remember they were already talking about going to play New England. That was the real distraction.
I thought you was going to say, because I read earlier today, actually, or yesterday, that he's still fully expected to do that. So I haven't heard anything about him signing. I don't know where.
Well, I read he's expected to sign it, but now also he has until what?
I heard that that's
third
not
week
a
of
real
training
thing.
camp.
That's
Well,
not
that's
a real
good.
thing.
No, I hope he steps up too. Okay, so I'm hoping he sticks to what he said. I don't think he's ever going to get $12 million a year.
I don't think he's going to stick to it. I don't think he's going to stick to it.
I don't think he's getting no $12 million a year on a 5-year deal like he said. He said he's getting $13, $14, $15 million a year on a 5-year deal. I don't think this man's getting 12 on a 5-year deal. I think he might get 12 for 1 year, 9 for the next, 7, 7, 7, but I don't think it's going anything else like that. But anyways,
Whatever.
with some incentives, that might mark him up to 16, but no, I don't see. But the franchise tag, I get, especially in football more than anything, but it's still the NBA, any sport. Why a player, because you're afraid if you get hurt for the rest of your life, I get why a player would be upset about that and would want a guaranteed contract of $9 million every year for 5 years instead of one $14 million contract. But let's just say he breaks his leg and can never play football again. He's still getting 14 point some guaranteed. He's still got, 13 point some guaranteed last year. If you can't, between 2 years, almost $30 million.
That's I don't even know why you even going there.
Well, that's my point. But the franchise tag is not near as bad as I think these players make it out.
Well, no, you just disqualified yourself. Yeah, okay, you make $12 million this year. Yeah, correct, and yeah, you made it last year, but you could potentially make a whole lot more. That's why they do it. What you mean?
But okay, but here's the thing:
and
in a 2-year span, Kirk Cousins in a 5-year span is going to make over $70 million. He's going to be the richest player in the history of the NFL due to NFL contracts ever. Mm-hmm. We're talking over Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I could list off well over 100 names before I got to Kirk Cousins on better quarterbacks than Kirk Cousins. because of the franchise tag, he played the system to the point of he's going to literally make $70 million in like a 4-year span.
Well, nobody ever gets that.
But that's the thing is if you play the system the right way.
Stop it. He's the one person ever that has been getting this type of treatment. That's not a common thing. Eventually the team gets rid of you or you just say fucking go somewhere else.
Well, the team is getting rid of him, and that's how he's getting it. They franchised him, 4 times in a row, 3 times in a row, whatever it was.
That don't happen.
How do you feel about the Cowboys using their franchise tag on DeMarcus Lawrence? I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was a good one. Instead of having to pay him a whole lot of money, he's somebody you want to see what he did last year, because you know he has talent. But if you want to see what he did last year will sustain into multiple things, or if it's just
I don't buy into this whole. They were great for a year, so now they're great.
And that was the thing. He had what? He had
a very good year.
It was.
And he had a decent end of the previous year.
That's what I was saying. It was a bad year, and then it was like a half alright year, but it was really good at the end, and then it was a really good year last year, if I'm not mistaken. But
do it again and get your money.
And that's the thing is, it's putting together 2 full seasons is what they're looking for.
Be a Cowboy.
I thought that was a good idea on their part. Philly hasn't, since I've seen, announced a franchise tag yet, so I'm sure we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, I like the market. I like Lawrence. So that's cool.
He's got a lot of talent, and I think that was their best option, and they didn't have a whole lot.
He was our leading tackle, or
sack.
I think he was the leading sack guy last year.
And they also didn't have a whole lot of options of who they could franchise tag. They didn't need the franchise tag super bad this year, so he was somebody who was pretty easily available for them. All right, a couple basketball things. One not serious, one serious.
Okay.
You know who Damian Jones is?
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Okay, so this story is funnier to you. To the people who don't know who Damon Jones is, I'm really sorry that the story is not going to be near as funny to them as it is to you and I.
So explain who Damon Jones is.
He was like the most serious, but like you couldn't actually take him serious. He was... it's not fair to call him J.R. Smith or Swaggy P, but like...
Nah, he wasn't that good.
Okay, not... But he thought he was the best player on the court.
2 years.
But he thought he was the best player on the court, right? Like he was like
he was good.
All right, he was like Lance Stevenson. That's what I'm trying to say. Unless you know who Damian Jones is, it's really hard to explain who Damian Jones is.
I guess
he's the dude who got crammed on.
Damian Jones could score a lot better. He's a better scorer.
Okay, I'm not saying in the sense of type of player. I'm saying in the sense of like he might do some weird stuff like blow in your ear. And
I don't think he'd do that, but
he was super serious all the time though. Yeah. Had the rough face. He was ready. He was a stay ready all-star. He was trying to fight 24/7. He thought he was the best player on the court, and for a solid 8 years he was a journeyman, and he was not the best player on the court for any of them.
I used to get him in 2K all the time because he could make a 3.
Because he was a journeyman, and he could make a 3. He could make a 3. Funnier part about this is I found Damian Jones on Instagram a couple years ago.
Why in the blue hell did you find Damian Jones on Instagram?
Because he was playing NBA players one-on-one. Are you ready for this? I knew that he was a Cavs assistant before the story came out because he posts videos every other week of him playing a new Cavs player one-on-one and he beats him half the time. It's crazy.
Okay.
Anyways, and he's challenging them straight up. He challenges them and he takes his phone starts yelling at him for a little bit. They eventually accept the challenge and then they go at it one-on-one. Anyways, point being is. So, I knew that he was a Cavs assistant for a while, and I thought that was really weird. And then I saw him one time sitting behind the Cavs bench, and I was like, it looks really weird. Why is Damian Jones sitting behind LeBron James? I don't like it. It just didn't make any sense.
I did hear this a couple weeks ago. I heard that he was a coach, and I was like, Damian Jones is an assistant coach on the Cavs? This was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wait, what? And it was the same thing. I saw him sitting there, and I was like...
Though. He doesn't even sit on the bench. He sits behind the bench.
Yeah, I saw that. I literally had the same reaction. I was like, Damon Jones? And I was like, and then I think I saw him standing up actually doing a timeout, and I was like, that is Damon Jones. Why the fuck is he on the Cavs? So, yeah, I had the same reaction.
All right.
Because I didn't know he was even there. I was like, he's still around?
And the people, we just described all that, unless you know who Damon Jones is, it's really hard. The story is funny without it, though.
John Jones? Oh, my God. Who was that guy that kept following LeBron? Oh, God. Oh, my God. I'm drawing a blank. Jones. Last name Jones. Old man. He was on Heat. Then he went. Oh my God, we clown him all the time.
Mhm.
He was always in a suit. He never played.
I know who you're talking about.
Not John Jones, Jim
No,
Jones.
No.
Damn it. You know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
That'd be like him getting an assistant coaching gig, and you'd be like, really? He has a... Oh, that's going to bother me now. I'm looking at his face right now.
Me too. I'm looking right at his face.
I'm pretty sure
I
he's
was
still
laughing.
around. So that's
Nah, he
ridiculous.
retired last year.
Did he?
Yes, he
Good.
retired at the
Good
end of the
for
year
him.
last year.
Good for him with all them rings while he was sitting there.
So,
Oh my gosh, that's going to bother me now.
anyways,
Something Jones.
this story is still funny, but it's funnier if you know who Damien Jones is.
Okay.
Apparently, before Cavs practice, the day before they played the Sixers, earlier, I guess it was late last week, J.R. Smith, a lot of funny J.R. Smith stories, threw a bowl of soup at Damien Jones.
Yeah, I heard that.
The visual of J.R. Smith throwing a bowl of
Just
soup
J.R.
at...
Smith. That's funny.
Okay, the visual of J.R. Smith throwing a bowl of soup
And
is
it's
funny.
believable. You're like, yeah.
And an assistant coach
He's
is funny.
probably high. Probably drunk.
At an assistant coach is
Is
funny.
there Hennessy in his cereal? Or in his soup?
At Damien Jones is hilarious.
He's probably like, who are you? And
Yo.
Damon Jones is like, I'm you.
Did Damien Jones whoop him right there? Right there.
No.
Who wins in a fight, Damien Jones or
J.R.
J.R.
Smith.
Smith? That's
J.R. Smith.
because he's younger?
J.R. Smith.
I don't know. Damien Jones is about it, though. Not like J.R. Smith. I agree. J.R. Smith is more about it. J.R.
It's
Smith...
about fake thugs. I
All
don't
right.
think he's about it.
All
I
right.
don't think he's about it. If KG's a fake thug, what's Damon Jones?
I don't know. See, I think...
Knock it off. He's not even... Well, I won't disrespect Matt Barnes, but I'm trying to think of somebody who's...
That's what I'm saying. Matt Barnes and J.R. Smith, they don't throw the bowl of soup unless they know they can win that fight. So I will give you J.R. Smith wins that fight because J.R. Smith doesn't throw that. He doesn't throw that bowl of soup unless he knows he can
I
win
don't
that
think
fight.
Damon Jones is about anything.
Man, I don't know. I think Damien Jones can get down.
I think he thinks he's about it, but he ain't about it. He assistant coach. He can't get down. I hope he understands that.
I wonder what. I just wonder what happened, what transpired, what made J.R. Smith throw it. They claim it was chicken tortilla soup. I don't know.
How high was he that he got chicken tortilla soup?
Why do you have soup at a court?
Because you're J.R. Smith and you're high.
You got suspended for a game for it.
Worth it. Worth it. Damien Jones, though. Like, what the hell? I swear it's Jim Jones. I'm still stuck on who that guy is. I'm pretty sure it's Jim. Is it Jim?
Jim Jones was a...
What the hell is that guy's name?
We've, Nola, you notice, boy. But you know what? It might be Jim Jones. There might be two Jim Jones. Maybe Jim Jones, the basketball player, and Jim Jones, the... Alright, so I got one more basketball thing to talk about with you. Then I'll let you go.
That's fine. I'm going to be stuck on who this guy is until we get off this air, and I'll be like, I really forgot his name.
James Jones.
At least I had a J.
It was James Jones, right?
James Jones.
Hey.
James Jones. So if James Jones became an assistant in like a year randomly for, I don't know, the Warriors, you'd be like, wait, James Jones is assistant for the Warriors?
I don't even think James Jones is as hard or it would be near as funny if Matt Barnes threw a bowl of hot soup.
That would
at
be
him.
sad because James Jones is like 45 years old.
That's
so
what I'm
I'd be like, why
saying.
you throwing soup at that old man?
Who's older, James Jones or Damien Jones?
Probably James. Who was more relevant, James Jones or Damon Jones?
Probably Damien.
Damon. Yeah, like a year and a half.
He had 2 good years, and one was with Shaq.
What was it? Oh, it was Miami. Yeah, that was the year. Yeah.
Because he could
That was
stand
his
on the
good year.
3-point
That was-
line.
yep.
He could stand on the 3-point line, and Wade
That's
and
what
Shaq
I was
could,
getting into 2K.
Wade and Shaq could move everybody off the rotation, and he'd be standing in the corner wide open all the time.
They didn't realize he really can't shoot like that.
What was the famous interview? He said if there was no such thing as a Ray Allen or Reggie Miller, then Damien Jones would be known as the best shooter of all time. Something like that.
I don't know.
He said something to that effect. I'll tell you, man, Damien Jones. Anyways, all right, so I got one more basketball.
I'm glad
thing
we figured out who James Jones is. Shout out to James Jones. Who he play for?
Maybe he could coach in the new league that Adam Silver is trying to set up.
Like Ice Cube. I haven't heard. By the way, transfer. I haven't heard shit about that.
Yo, they got a 3-on-3 season 2 coming back. Yeah.
I have not heard anything.
Now I don't know if it's gonna be on TV, but I did see that it's going back around the nation.
Is AI gonna play?
No.
Okay, well we already established that. I didn't know it was still a thing. I have not heard anything.
I'm shocked he made it as long as he did.
That thing went way away. Pretty much when the AI thing happened. That's pretty much when it was like, all right.
Yeah.
We put it all into him, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm going to Vegas." And Cube was like, "There's our whole league right there."
Adam Silver. Seemed to capitalize on a situation that's happening in college basketball right now. College basketball had an issue before people infiltrating the high school ranks, and ever since they moved from in 2005, where you have to go to college for at least 1 year, it moved to AAU basketball, and it has infiltrated even worse because now it's shoe companies. We explained all this last week. Adam Silver is now trying to get his hand into this instead of trying to figure out a way to get players to go straight from high school to the NBA, because he would still like to implement the 19 and up rule, which they're talking about lowering it to 18 and a half, so you have to at least, I don't know. What's the difference? I think you should just be a year removed from high school, however they want to do it. Now, they're talking about having they already have the developmental league, the G League, but basically a developmental league, which I joked about it on Facebook, but the best way to put it is it's just sanctioned AAU leagues by the NBA, not actual AAU league, but it's going to be you come out of high school and your AAU thing, you get drafted on a team for a year, and then you get thrown in with the college players and the other players that go to your league instead. And there's nothing clear about this league yet. You know, can you go if you want to go for 1 year? Can you go if you want to go for 5 years? If you want to go play there and just say, hey, I want to keep playing there until my skills are good enough is it going to be a developmental league where you can, but if it's associated with the NBA, it just doesn't. It's also going to most likely end any real competitive. Not competitive. Any real. You're not going to have Dukes. You're not going to have the Dukes and the Kentuckys and all that anymore, because it's going to be a free-for-all at the college level, because if you can go for multiple years in this weird development league, why would you go to college? You can get paid to go to this development league for a year or two.
So this is a set thing. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. So is this a set thing?
No, he just threw it around in a...
So you're just talking shit and it's not...
I don't know if he...
real right now?
Yeah, he just proposed the league, I guess. I don't know if he even proposed it. I don't know. I don't know exactly what... And the details were super vague.
So he's Vince McMahon with the XFL?
Maybe, but I just... Do you think it's a good idea for them to get involved with high school again? Kobe worked out, LeBron worked out, KG worked out.
Yeah, that shit don't work out.
Right.
That shit don't work.
Okay, so we're on the same page, because that's more what I wanted to go to.
Well, this is what
the overall thought
people
process.
Saying it's not fair, and they should be able to do what they want.
They shouldn't be able to go straight from the NBA or from high school.
This is what happens when people cry. This is what when people whine about shit. Then it's like, okay, well then eventually we're going to switch it and we're going to do it this way, and it's pretty much going to be the same thing. So it's like,
see, the problem is what they were afraid that
they should have the right to go. If they're an adult, they should be able. That doesn't mean you're ready to go.
Their body's not developed. It's not. Oh, look,
you're ready to go there.
Not just.
You got Brandon Ingram, this freaking Ethiopian. He ain't with the college, and it's like, oh, really, dude? We don't need these.
But he played a year. But he played a year.
Cool.
In Germany, but give the okay. Look, my biggest thing is give them to 19 or 20 because their bodies at least develop to bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, I mean, LeBron James on Ben Simmons is just not fair.
Right.
Ben Simmons is 20, And the difference in what Ben Simmons will be in 3 years, the size of Ben Simmons will be in 3 years will be much closer to what LeBron is right now. But that's at Ben Simmons at 23, and that's not just he won't be growing anymore at that point. That will just be years of him training the right way and all that. And that's the whole reason that they want you to not go right from, because you don't train. Nobody in high school is going to train you the right way to be prepared to go play up against even Ben Simmons. You need 1 year out of that for your body to develop more and for you to get bigger, just in the sense of literally lifting weights. You ever see Kevin Durant in college?
Nope.
It's worse than it is now, like how skinny and small he was. And that was actually the big conversation.
Yeah, I saw him.
Do you remember the big conversation?
I remember him in early.
Do you remember the conversation? Do you remember? I don't know if you don't pay attention to the college stuff or them going to the draft stuff, but the conversation of him going to the draft is he ever going to be big enough? I mean, that was not in the sense of tall enough. Is he ever going to be big? Because his arms were just minute bull skinny.
And blame the team that drafted them. Hello.
Do you like the system the way it is now, though?
No, I think they need to go to college. Just stay and go to college.
For more than 1 year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't.
Do you think that should be? Because I've always thought that
I don't think
basketball.
It has to be 4, but
I always thought
one is ridiculous.
I always thought that it should be this
They
way.
should have the right. Well, they're not ready, so why throw these children into a grown man?
I always thought that,
That's
and not
stupid.
just that they go to college.
works, because LeBron works, because KG works. Because you can name five people that it works for, and then it makes it okay.
You could name, look, out of, I think it was the...
Whatever, you can pick the exact number of 14. I don't care how right that is.
Not a lot. It was a very low percentage of kids that went straight from high school to the NBA that actually panned out and had more than 5 years in
that's
the
the
NBA.
point. You can name 12 people. It doesn't mean it's okay. 12 out of 12,000. I
think they said if you include Kobe and LeBron, who are the only two that are left that haven't been eligible for the Hall of Fame yet, which they most likely will make the Hall of Fame. You would assume both of them, clearly. But that only, I think it was 11 of the players who ever went from high school to the NBA will ever be in the Hall of Fame. And that's just a really low number in comparison to the amount that went to right to the NBA. But I always liked the idea of, in the football, you have to have 3 years.
That's fine.
And in the NBA and basketball, you have more opportunity to go play in Germany. I think it should be you should have 2 years out of high school, and I don't think you have to go to college. I'm okay if you go play in Germany or if you go play somewhere else and develop your skills in game and get paid $1 million for it somewhere in Europe.
That's fine.
I'm cool with that personally, and there's definitely options for them to do that. I don't want to see it be involved with the NBA in any way, shape, or form, though.
Any way they can run it.
Well, they want to, yeah.
Which I can understand from their perspective.
But it's not like they're promoting
the
G League. It's not like they're not promoting the G League and where we want to watch it. And it's not like it's minor league baseball or minor league hockey where there's a purpose to minor league hockey and minor league baseball. People go to those games because some people, like I when the Philadelphia teams, because we have a minor league hockey team and a minor league baseball team in our area. When the minor league teams of the Philadelphia teams come and play those teams in our area, I go and see them because I want to see the future of my teams. But there's no reason for anybody to go watch a weird development league of the future NBA players that aren't in college right now. Like right now, at least...
we don't know that. That's too early to be saying. There's no reason to. We don't know. Because you just said we don't know what he's even proposing, let alone. And there will be those people that would do it. You.
I'll check it out.
I want to go see the future of my 76ers. I want to go see my future
No,
process.
but I'm saying, are they the Sixers? That's the thing. Will it be a minor league system like that?
Well, who knows? We don't know.
We're
asking a whole lot of what ifs. We don't know. This is literally the XFL thing. We don't know.
Dwight.
There's no reason to feel any type of way about it.
I think we made it much longer through this show talking about music, video games, and a little bit of sports than you expected.
I added 5 minutes to it.
Next week.
Might not even exist.
And then after that, we might move the day of recording the show.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Well,
things are getting scarce out here.
If we don't record a show next
We're out
week,
here talking about the draft for 15 minutes, and we still got how many weeks to draft?
if we don't record next week, we still got to kick it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Either way, it's gonna happen.
All right.
Show will come at some point.
Dwight,
Yes, sir.
you enjoy yourself until the next one.
I will. If
Thank
it's
you for
next week or the week after.
It'll be, yeah, but it won't be
Well-
longer than that. We'll have stuff.
You know what? I forgot to mention. You don't need to go to college. You don't need to go to some developmental league.
Oh, yeah.
You can just be Kobe Bryant and
Yeah.
go to NBA and become a great.
And you know
win
what?
5 of them things. Win an Oscar.
You know what? On top of, because shout out to Kobe Bean.
Just saying.
You're not wrong.
Just saying.
Someone else I want to shout out. Happy birthday to the Big Diesel.
Mhm.
I think he turned 48.
The real Superman. Shaq. I didn't know it was his birthday, but yeah, shout out to him too. Shout out to Kobe.
It was either the day of this recording or the day before the recording. I'm pretty sure it's the day of the recording.
Where?
Fun fact about Shaq that you might already know. 19 seasons played.
Mm-hmm.
0 losing records.
I didn't know that.
0.
That's insane.
19
insane.
NBA season played, 0 losing
Them
records.
Cavs teams.
I don't care what anybody tells them. Celtics.
Some Celtics.
He had some bad Celtics, Suns, and Cavs teams. Like those at the end of the career, and even man, the early Magic teams.
Oh, they were. Well, he was just a freaking monster. So.
But he was by himself.
That's all. Yeah. Did you watch that Kobe and Shaq thing yet?
No,
Oh, he's done.
We're done.
we'll watch it.
Ain't no we. Dwight watched it 2 weeks ago. This guy. Thanks for watching. He's Jared. I'm thirsty.
Dwight,